All right, so this is a forward. Information security is the process for ensuring safe data communication and preventing issues such as information leakage, modification, and also destruction. And this document will describe the basic concepts and protection measurements of the information, as well as information security risk and associated assessment and also avoidance method. Okay, and please do in mind this is actually the HCIA security course, and some of the topics here will be relevant our examination. Okay, so let's look at the objective of this the topic here. So upon finishing this course, we should be able to describe the definition and the characteristics of the information security, and to explain the characteristics and also the differences of the different security models, and also to be able to differentiate between the security risk. Okay. Right, so we break this into two topics: information security, and also information security risk and the management. So first of all, let's look at the definition of information. What is information? According to the GMITS, which is Guidelines for the Management of IT Security under the ISO or the IEC, these two organizations. All right, so so this is the definition. So information created, received, and maintained as an evidence and information by an organization of person in pursuance of legal obligation or in the transaction of the business. Okay, so this is the information definition. Now, as we know, information can be in many types of forms. We could have information as in book or maybe in letters. Right, so and also email. Okay, I think everyone knows that email is it's like every day we have tons of email. All these are information, and some of them are very important, some of them are very secretive, and maybe some of them are probably could involve in a legal issue, like for example the email together with the invoice and things like that. Transaction data, so this is absolutely important, right? So for example, banks, we have day-to-day transaction, right? So every transaction is about money, right? It's about people's money. Then we also have information about state secrets. Okay, so this is actually involved in national security stuff. Radar signal. Okay, this is also very important. So every day we receive so many signals from the radar, maybe through satellites or maybe through any kinds of wireless communication. Okay, and also examination question, test questions. So these are also some of the information which is considered information. Right, so once we understand that there's such a thing called information, so now we talk about what is information security. Now, information security refers to the preservation of the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data through security technologies. Okay, so these are some of the keywords. You can see here is something like CIA. So this is not the American CIA. C stands for the confidentiality, I for integrity, and A for availability. Okay, so confidentiality is about the information which is maybe some of the information which is private and secret, and integrity is about when we send information to another party, the information should not be tampered in between. Okay, during the transaction. Availability is about who can access to the information at what time. Okay, and these technologies includes computer software and also hardware, network, and also some of the key technologies. Organizational management measure throughout the information lifecycle, such as generation, from the moment we create the information, and through transmission. Yeah, we pass the information to somebody, and then to exchange. Okay, exchange information. And also to process, okay, maybe through business intelligence, and also finally through the storage. Okay, so we have also active storage and also the cold storage, archive storage. All these are very essential, okay, for an organization. So the following will be the effects if information assets are damaged. Okay, so for example, like the information, if it's not secured the proper way, it could be, it could cause a national security issue. Okay, so another thing is the system operating and continuous development. Okay, so this is about the operation. Okay, and personal privacy and property are also will be jeopardized. Okay, so if the information security are not taken well properly. So the aim of information security is to protect data against threats through technical means and effective management. So this is the whole objective of information security. Okay, so it's to protect. Okay. All right, so let's talk a bit on the history. All right, so in the early days, right? So when we say early, it's like early up to the 19 in the 19th earlys, you know. So during that time, there's no such thing called computers or maybe internet. Don't even mention about internet, right? So there's a very limited technology being used to secure the information, or maybe the very first cryptography technology being invented during those days. And then after that, we in the post 60s, okay, so we actually started the information security stage. So this is a time where the internet development brings to a new challenge and also the threats to information security. So in the past, information are stored as in the paper, as in hard copy. So now information are gradually stored in the as a digital form. Okay. So in the 80s is actually the so the 60s is like the beginning, right? So in the 80s is like the age where people will start aware about the importance about the digital information. So and you can see that during this time, the 80s is the time where people look very seriously into implementing security information security. Okay, so this is the time where we slowly replace the traditional security. All right, so let's look at this gentleman. Okay, so who is he? This gentleman is one of the Chinese gentlemen. His name is called Wang Jingxi. Okay, so why is he important? Okay, so this is actually to talk a little bit on the history. Basically, a simple photo can also be and we call it the information leakage. Okay, so after the Chinese government invited bids for oil production equipment, okay, so for oil production equipment, Japanese intelligence experts, they used this simple photo to uncover the following secrets of the Daqing oil field. Okay, so this is actually, you know, the government is actually opening up the tender to see who can produce, who can participate to provide the equipment for the oil production. So based on this simple photo, the Japanese the intelligence, they can actually easily tell. Like for example, look at the clothing. Based on the clothing of this guy, so it's definitely this is a winter clothing, and they can actually look at this is about 48 to 46 to 48 degrees towards the northeastern side of China, and so based on the simple information like this, and also based on the way how he handled the this equipment, and they can actually tell, you know, this is about you know, somewhere near the northeastern side. So finally, the Japanese able to have a good advantage, you know, by bidding for the equipment. Okay, so so sometimes information as simple as just a photo can be also to be somebody's advantage. Okay, so next we talk about the communication secrecy stage. Okay, so in the earliest 1900, okay, communication technologies were underdeveloped. Okay, and data were stored in different location. Okay, so this is, you know, when we talk about the data were stored in a different location, we are referring to the physical data, right? Maybe like letters and maybe a hard copy of information, or maybe some pictures are stored in physical location. Okay, and information system security was limited to physical security of information and cipher-based security communication. Okay, this is mainly stream cipher. Okay, so this is during maybe like Second World War. You know, they have they use a different cryptography kind of technology to try to avoid the signal that been transmitted will be received by the enemies, right? As long as information was in a relatively secure place and unauthorized users were prohibited from accessing the information, data security could be generally guaranteed. So this is actually in the past, right? So as long as the military or maybe the government they hide something in somewhere which is secret location, so general public cannot easily access, then to them this is considered information secure, right? So now we talk about stage. stages. Information security stage. So this is actually the new era. Okay, so in the 90s, okay, when internet become developed rapidly, everybody start using the internet, and information leaks also become more frequent. As a result, in addition to the confidentiality, integrity, and availability, information security now focus more on other kinds of principles and also objectives, such as controllability and non-repudiation. Okay, so let's repeat this again. Confidentiality is about information which is towards the secrecy of the information. Integrity is about information which is when we transmit the information, we want to make sure whatever is from the origin to the destination, the information are intact, are the same. Okay. Availability is that to who. Okay. So controllability is about so what we can control about the information, to when this information can be exposed, or maybe up to what kind of level. For example, like we can delete, so we can delete a file, we can archive a file, so this kind of controllability. All right. So so for example, like for normal files, as a file server, we can control all this. We can take ownership and things like that. So this is about controllability. The next one is the non-repudiation. So this is actually about the people cannot deny where the information is sent from your source, for example. Okay, so if let's say if somebody signed the document, digitally signed the document and send it over, and if let's say there's a legal dispute and that somebody cannot deny saying that this is not coming from me, so this is actually a kind of a focus, a new focus that we need to control, because nowadays we know that information can easily be duplicated, all right, and somebody can just deny, this is not from me, right? Okay, so next, when we talk about business, all right, so business-oriented information security assurance, this is from a business perspective. Different business have a different type of traffic. Okay, we call it the different service traffic, and therefore there could be a different kind of risk, and also different type of protection method. Okay, so for example, if a company which is dealing with public transaction, like for example e-shopping, if the company is selling things online, so you need to concern that company need to concern about public security. How do you ensure the transaction of the payment is secure for your client, as opposed to a company which dealing with, for example, an ordinary business services, like for example provide printing service and things like that. So different kind of business, they have a different kind of transaction traffic, and they have a different type of risk. Okay, in terms of security system, comprehensive security management and technical protection, proactive defense, but not passive protection. Okay, yeah. So some of the from some of the business kind of company, they need to be aware about the proactive defense. Okay, so what is proactive and what is passive? So passive means we are in the kind of mode with, for example, like antivirus. So for example, if let's say we are not accepting any viruses or things like that, we basically don't care about what's happening in the outside. Okay, maybe our firewall side. But as a proactive defense, okay, so sometimes when the threat is about to happen, we can actually tell something which is about to happen. Okay, it's not like something is already happened. So that is about proactive kind of a defense. You need to be able to predict, right? For example, like somebody attempt to penetrate our system, then we should able to tell. And also management. In terms of management point of view, talent development and system establishment for security management. So most of the companies should have an information security team, which they are the team to develop a system and constantly monitor and to constantly upgrade the security system for a company. Okay. All right, so let's talk about some case study. All right, so I think the first one we will talk about is WannaCry. Okay, I like this name WannaCry because it makes people really want to cry. So I think a lot of us still remember in last year in 2017, the WannaCry ransomware crypto worm propagated through Eternal Blue infected over 100,000 of computers and causing a loss of more than 8 billion USD. Okay, this is actually a big amount. I think some of you guys are probably already know about this WannaCry. So this is actually a kind of worm which affected the those computer which is not patched, and then it will come out with this kind of prompt. Okay, and so in order for you to remove this screen, you have to pay the ransom. Okay, through the cryptocurrency. So it actually affected so many different area, from the energy to the transportation. All right, so through education, industry, and also government. Yeah, this is actually one of the very serious case study of WannaCry. The second one is the Ocean Lotus. Okay, Ocean Lotus. So since the April 2012, the Ocean Lotus group has carried out target penetration and attacks on important sectors of China, such as the government, scientific research institute, maritime institutions, maritime construction, and also the shipping enterprises. Okay, so this is a group of so-called hackers. They actually penetrate, they target not only China, and also including Southeast Asia, especially the government sectors like in Vietnam or Thailand, and etc. etc. So these kind of attacks are intended to obtain confidential information, intercept intelligence sent out by attacking computers, and to enable the computers to automatically send related intelligent information. So this is about attacking the government kind of institute or organization, and in order to collect intelligent information. Okay, so Ocean Lotus, this group of people, they are still active up to today. So this is a kind of a war. Okay, this is we call it the cyber war. It's not the physical war. All right. So so the next is to talk about what are the cause of such kind of attacks. All right. So we know attacks happens, but what could be the possible cause? So if we talk about direct cause, it could be viruses, it could be some of the computers, or maybe some laptops where you connect to some public infrastructure, some public Wi-Fi, whatever, and affected by viruses, or maybe vulnerability about your operating system, which is not up to date, not patched. Trojan horses, backdoor programs, probably sometimes could be the DDoS attack. Okay, so DDoS attack is about we call it distributed denial of services. This is about attacking a certain computers or certain targets which we have massive attack, and to bring down the services. Okay, so DDoS attack could be also one of the cause, and indirect cause, it could be information system complexity. Okay, now information complexity can be so many different areas. Okay, we could have information complexity about because the design of the flow of a company information is so complex, where sometimes if you want to trace where is the root cause, it's actually it's a hassle. Okay, because of the workflow kind of concept, where somebody sends something, it will go through to be authorized by another superior, and the superior have to authorize by another superior, and things like that. All right, so sometimes due to this process, could be one of the system which is compromised and causes the attack happens. Okay, and sometimes could be due to the complexity of the equipment. Right, so for example, like some of the information have to go through different kind of terminals, like for example the payment system terminals, or maybe for example like the chaos. Some system can be attacked through chaos, or maybe for example like in the airplane, there is the entertainment system on the airplane. There could be also potentially another potential entry. Okay, due to the devices issue. And also finally, it could be also due to human and environmental factors. Okay, so human are typically very weak in terms of emotion, and if that somebody managed to weaken the emotion of the person, for example, you can pretend you are like I'm just somebody to come and to repair the photocopy and things like that, or maybe I'm just a repairman to repair some electricity or telephone cable, the lines, and that could be the reason where the attacker is accessing to your company in the first place. Okay. All right, so what is the significance of building information security? So we talk about so many the problem, the cause. So now we talk about why we need to build the information security. All right, so So information network has become the foundation of economy prosperity, social stability, and national development. Okay, I think this is absolutely true. Any modern country which is a developed country, you find that the information technology is something which is cannot be lack of. Okay, and especially the growth of the internet, social stability also same thing. We have so many social networking and the news and things like that, and also national development, and also this is very important. These are the building blocks. Okay. And informationization profoundly influenced the global economic integration, national strategy adjustment, and also security priority. So this is about the global economic, okay? So which is really true. Information security has transformed from a technical issue into a matter of national security worldwide. Okay, so. Okay, so and also information are applicable to many technical fields. For example, C4I. C4I stands for Command, Control, Communication, Computers, and Intelligence. Okay, so this is actually the system used primarily in the military field. Okay, like they have a standard procedure, a protocol from the command to control and how to communicate and how do they use the computer, all right, and how they gather the information, the intelligence. Okay. E-commerce system, okay, we definitely know about this. Yeah, biomedical system, and also the ITS, intelligent transport system. So these are actually some many things which is the importance about the information, and all this area required information security. Okay, especially the